Okay, another in the 67 steps. Obviously, I do these every morning, and my hair is a disaster. So that's problem number one. I'll try and keep my head in the dark. Maybe it's not so obvious. It's a sunny day here in Japan. So this one is number 27, and he calls it the Frontman. It's really about assembling your team, or that's what he implies it's going to be. The more I do reflection on these 67 steps, the more I realize that not a lot is going on. But a cup from Switzerland. So, assembling your team, or as David Buss calls it, building your coalitions. I love that term. I'm going to use that one. Building coalitions. So, you're going to go through personally and professionally a lot of battles. And, we talked before many times in this about your sources of pain, Freud's sources of pain, which are, decay, that your body's falling apart, forces of nature, and other people. And so those are the three kind of battles you've got. And to kind of make it through, well, you're never going to make it through the decay, but to at least shore it up a little while, you need people around you. You can't do it by yourself, and this I have learned this a lot. So, like in war, you need allies, coalitions. So, I would have liked to have heard more about building this up. But really what we got is this. Okay, Warren Buffett says the three things that he looks for in somebody who works for him or partners with him or, he's going to deal with on any meaningful level is somebody who's got energy, intellect, and integrity, and especially integrity. You don't want to find somebody who's got a lot of energy and a high intellect and who's going to screw you over. So those are Warren Buffett's three things. But instead of delving into that, Tai comes up with his number one thing, which is loyalty, which I think says probably more about Tai than it does about anything else. So loyalty is significant for him. And the two things he looks for: number one, loyalty; number two is complementary, which I think is a good choice. You need to have a well-rounded team. So you need to combine people's skills, extrovert, introvert, and so on and so forth. And this is not just business, but also personal. You want to find a partner who's complements and your personality. So then we bounce back to the business thing. We talk about selection criteria, and he talks about, again, Charlie Munger. Charlie Munger's thing, he doesn't do an interview. He just goes by references. A lot of references, and not just the ones that are supplied. You dig around, find out about the person you're going to bring in. But the kind of opposite method of that is this slow and steady approach, which I've heard about a couple of times before, where you do a lot of interviews over time. Not necessarily interviews, just meetings over time, and kind of build up an understanding of this person. And then go by whether you want to hire them or not. So you get that immediate impression, but you're not just hiring somebody who's good at giving interview. Personally, I've always been good at giving interviews, so I hope people don't do this for me. Yeah, and that was really the whole lesson that I've summarized in 4 minutes. It took 30 minutes with Tai. And then we got to the questions, which again I think say a little bit about him, where he wants to focus on where he'd been betrayed in business and romance and friendship, and maybe he didn't make the right choice. You're always going to get betrayed, even if you made the right choice. Not always going to get betrayed, but making the right choice and getting betrayed, I don't think are two totally related things, because there's a time factor involved. But I think it was a valid lesson about focusing on complementary, and the most important thing is the fact that you have to have a team. You can't do things by yourself. You can't run a business by yourself. You can't go through life by yourself. Anyway, that was step 27. See you later.